Alright, so you have some prep to do on the case before we install the motherboard. So we're going to take this front panel, just lift on the bottom here, and it pops off. So that's easy. And then, I'll put this someplace safe. And then, remember, we're going to be installing our GPU cooler in front here. So 2 of these fans are going to go away for sure. Might end up keeping the 3rd one, but I think what I'm trying to do is see if I can use these fans for a push-pull on my CPU AIO cooler. So if I have 3 fans on it already, and these are 3 more I could use. So we're going to take these out for now, and we can always decide to put them back in later. And so the 2 things we need to do is we need to disconnect them from the fan header, and then we're going to take this whole bracket out. This whole bracket comes out, and that'll make it easier to install our. It might make it easier to install our GPU cooler later. So we're going to do that. The other thing to realize is, it's a little hard to see here probably, but is that this bracket will move out in 5 different positions. So it was in the middle position. We're probably going to want to mount it lower because we're going to wait till we install our AIO, then we're going to put this back on, and so it'll make sure we have a clearance on top here if we need it for the 420 AIO on top. So now I'm just going to take this out and set it aside, and I'm going to take one of these fans out and see if it's thin enough so we can put the AIO up here. Once we get the motherboard in, I'll take one of these out and on the 420. The other prep we're going to do is we're going to remove this top panel, which is so we can install the AIO radiator to this, and then put it in the case. So that'll be a little bit easier to install than. So we're going to take these 2 screws out, and this lifts off. And underneath, there's a little bumper or something. Went down there. I'll have to find that. Then down here is where the AIO cooler goes. So let's see. I guess this panel actually comes off separately. Should have done that first. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. So we'll put this aside, and then this is our AIO frame that we can. Oh, I see what happens. It's these little covers for the USB things on top. So that's what fell down. So I'll find that, and then meanwhile we're going to set all this aside. Now our case is all set up to put the motherboard in. All right, so we're going to put the power supply in first with the motherboard in. And so Antec wants you to mount the power supply perpendicular to the way you would normally install it, because then the cables come right out the back. It's much easier to route things. You don't cover up the fan intakes over here. So this power supply is short enough that there's enough room here. There's plenty of room for those cables to come out of the back here. So along the front, on the back of the case, so here's where you plug things in. There's no power switch here. But then on the front of the case, here's your power supply, and you can screw into these brackets here. And then this is the extension cord that goes to the bracket on the back. So we want to, if we try to put this directly in here, then it's too much stuff. So we're going to loop this around. Hopefully, yeah, we don't want to run it around the back. Let's see. Yes, there's a channel here that this can fit into. So it comes down here, and then it's going to twist around like this until it plugs in. That's not great. Maybe I can run it around the other side. Let's see. Is there some way to go under it or over it? I can go over it. Let's try going over it and see if that works better. nothing coming out the top of it because the fan is also out to the side. So let's see. So now it's going over the top of it. Let's see if I can get it to come all the way forward. Still wouldn't work that great. So, alright, so I'll play around with this until I get it installed the way I want, and you can see the final. Alright, so what I ended up doing was I routed it through the slot on the side, flipped it around, made sure I pressed it all the way in, and then there's enough room to pull this all the way forward. This tucks in here, and then this has to close over it. That was the thing I was testing. So this closes over it. Let's see there, and it's all hidden here now. So if you need to use the power switch, you can do it here. It's on right now. So I guess I'm gonna leave it off for now. Yeah, and then before I put the front of the case on, I'll turn it on. Yeah, okay. All right, so we just need to screw it in with these with the power supply screws, and there's a slot down here you can get the screw in all the way to the back there. So we're going to put that one in first. Yeah, okay. All right. I may end up pulling this out, and what I'll probably do is, I'll pull this out. It's going to be easier. And we're going to screw it in, and then we're going to put this back in when it's all done. Get it back out. There. Okay. So I'm going to screw it in place first, and then we're going to do what I just did. So, all right. So this is the packs of screws you get with the case, and one of them is labeled PSU. So those are the power supply screws you want to use. So let's get those going, and we'll screw this in, and then we'll put this in and double check the front fits. Well, that took a lot longer than it probably should have, but I couldn't get all the screw holes to line up, so that's what set me off, or got me off track. So I put this one in, this one, and this one will not line up. So it's probably, I don't know. They could have put some more play in this slot down here, and that might have been enough room for it. But 3 screws should be enough. Now we're going to go ahead and attach this thing. So I'm going to put it around like I showed before. Now this is in solid, so we can push it all the way in. Okay, it's all the way in, and then this will just tuck in. Oh, so I got to tuck the bottom in first before I push it all the way in. This is okay, but it's, I mean, it's okay. Could have been a little bit better. Let's see, that tucks in okay there. All right. So that's done. Now that won't go anywhere. Okay, so that's really in there. This will go down like this, and then we'll double check this cover here to make sure that it'll just push that in. So that's the way this is designed. There. All right, so that's nice. So again, like I said, we're going to leave this off for now, and then we from now on we'll just use the plug in the back. Once we get everything installed and ready to power it up, we'll turn this on, put this over it, and then if we ever need to make sure the computer's off, we'll just unplug it, which is actually what I do anyway. All right, the old computer is nice and stable. It ran overnight. I used it this morning so I can still run my business. So now it's time to get on to the fun and install get our new computer up and going. So, like I said before, this is my first AMD build. So I'm following along with a video. I'll put a link to this video that I used to do this motherboard installation, because I'm not an expert at AMD. In fact, I'm not much of an expert at Intel either. I've only I've only built, well, this is my 4th computer I've built. So I have some experience, but the problem is it's spaced out over years. I don't replace my computer every year or anything. So it's at least 5 years, and this last one's been 8 years. So, all right, so here's our Ryzen 9900 X3D. So it's one below the top latest and greatest. So that gives us some future proofing without spending a little extra premium there. And the pins are on the sockets. You got to be super careful about putting this in so you don't bend the pins. There, that was pretty gentle. And you have to make sure this cap is on. And then when you put on the that I assume centers it in there. So when you put down the holder here, this pops off. All right, so you want to keep this and don't lose this. So we're going to put it in a safe place. Let's put it right here for now. But all right, so our processor's in there, so that's great. Next thing we're going to install is the memory. All right, now it's time to install the memory. So as I showed in the unboxing, I'm using this G.SKILL Trident Z5 Neo RGB DDR5. It's AMD Expo compatible, so it should give us our best performance. So as all the videos will tell you, you're supposed to install it in slots 2 and 4 because the memory is dual. The memory lanes are dual channels, so you get the maximum throughput with just using 2 out of the 4. But you still have some. If you need more, you can use it, get it. But you want to just put it in 2 and 4, which is somewhat counterintuitive, but that's okay. Sure, it's just because of the way the board has to be laid out. Okay, so those are in there nice and solid. So that's it for the memory. Now we're on to the M2 drives. All right, for the M2 drives, we've got 2 different ones. This is going to be our C drive, which is a PCIe 4. And check the speed there, 7450. And then for our G drive, our game drive, we're going to install games and other software we're going to load super quick, like our video editing and things like that. Maybe some files. I have to think about that. We've got this crucial PIC 5, Gen 5, that has about 50% more, a little bit, actually more than 50% faster access than this PCI 3, so, or 4 rather. So this is a PCI 5 slot on this motherboard, and the PCI 4 we're going to put down here. This is another PCI 5, but apparently it shares lanes with the graphics slot, or so we don't want to do that. I'm not sure exactly why at this point, but that's what I've been hearing. It may not be for the graphics card I have, but for a future. So anyway, this is a PCI 4 slot that doesn't interfere with any of these lanes over here, so there's no reason not to put it here. So this has got a much more sophisticated heat sink than this one. It's got a heat tube in here. So, but anyway, this is a nice bulky heat sink, aluminum heat sink. So we'll install this one first, the PCIe 5 one, and then we'll install what we're going to use for our C drive. So this one is 4 terabytes. That should be plenty of future proofing. And my current C drive is an M.2 drive. It's about half the speed of this. I forget what generation it is. I don't think it's. I don't remember what generation it is, but it's a long time ago. Let me see if I can find it here. It was the original PCIe, so 1 terabyte. Yeah. All right, so we're going to put this one in first, and then we'll put the other one in. All right, so we're going to move the covers on the thermal pads. So we're going to take this one off. That's that one. And then this one. We're never going to take this off, so we can get out this way. I'm going to take this as a toolless installation, which is great. Alright, you can grab it by the edges. This goes in this way. There's a little notch here. There's a notch over here, so that's why it wasn't going in, which is great. So you can't put it in the wrong way. Right, that snaps in, and you can release it if you need to. So we're never taking this out again. So, all right, then we've got our heat sink. So that goes on this way, so where you can read it. That slots in here, and then you just press it down. There. All right, so that's locked in. It's never gonna be taken out. Except if we go to a new computer, we might want to salvage it. So. All right, so now we're going to the second one. We got to remove these screws. Okay, so that was easy. Actually, I took it off once before on the unboxing. So these are captive screws, so you can't lose them. That's nice. All right, so then there's only thermal pad on the top of this one. Set it on both sides. So we're going to put our C drive over here. Now we know how to put it in correctly, so we won't mess up this one. So this is the right way on this one. Put it in here. Snap it in place. There, so that's another toolless snap in. Now, there's another PCA 4 over here. We're not going to use that now. I don't think we're going to use it in the future. We'll see. At least it's available as an expansion. If we need another internal drive, that's fast. Okay, so now we'll just put this back on. I remember having trouble lining these screw holes up first time. So it actually screws into where the release mechanism is. That's interesting. So I guess if I line up these little notches here, that should be correct. Let's find out. No. The ends of, oh, it wasn't actually exactly lined up there. That's one problem. That's pretty lined up there. So let's try this side first. Get one of them in. It should. Yeah, that's not lined up. It's not the greatest system here. I've got to center a very small screw hole to get it to line up. Otherwise, you can just go wherever it wants. All right. Well, again, we're not going to take this off. Hopefully. Alright, that's it. There's a little gap here. I forgot about that gap. There's a little gap between this heat sink and the one above it. So, alright, so that's in there, locked in now. So I have our CPU, memory, and internal storage drive. Looking good.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is Beta Cygni signing out, and keep looking up.